everyone, my name is Alexa Valenzuela and this is my video reflection for individual project number 1. The American-made movie I chose to talk about for this video reflection was Anyone But You, directed by Will Gluck. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. To start off, I really enjoyed watching this movie. Although I can say it's not my all-time favorite movie, it's definitely one of the most watched movies in my list. So that's really why I chose to talk about it, because I definitely think it's an enjoyable movie. I first watched this movie when it came out in theaters back in 2023, and I can say I've rewatched it multiple times ever since it came out on Netflix. So I do really like this movie. Right off the bat, you can tell that it hits off as the modern day rom-com. And although the ending is predictable that they'll end up together, the humor, emotions, and energy that the director brought into the film really is what built up the good part of the movie, and really showed the enemies to lover themes throughout the movie itself. To learn a little bit about the movie itself, the main argument behind the movie is that relationships can form so unexpectedly, and that even during those rough times between the two main characters and all the miscommunication and misunderstanding that seemed to be arising from left to right, they still found a way to get back with each other in the end and had such a happy and loving relationship. The two main characters that are presented in the film are Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, which are being played as Bea and Ben. Bea's role is a very stubborn character who is a committed individual to say that she doesn't love Ben. You can tell that she is very strong-minded, and Ben's role being Bea's enemy, which slowly starts pulling Bea back and makes her fall in love with him. You can definitely tell that Ben never wasn't in love with her, but made it seem as if he didn't like her anymore because of the rough patches that started in the beginning of the film. The rest of the characters that we see are the friends and family of Bea and Ben. The movie is pretty much a hit off of a wedding that they both went to, it being Ben's best friend's sister and Bea's sister getting married. So it kind of was the whole friends and family / wedding guests were the ones that kind of made all the silly situations and comments that really started to grow Bea's and Ben's chemistry. Now, to answer the question, does the film have any messages? Anyone But You does have a message behind it, that being that love is so unpredictable, that you never know when it's going to come to you, but also being that not all relationships are perfect. They all have rough patches, and being able to let yourself go a little bit will open so many doors that you may not have known could be opened. To answer the question, is the film art for the sake of art or art with a message? I believe that the film is art with a message, as it has the message of love and unpredictability. It's also a rom-com, like I said before, and that was it was meant to entertain the audience with the film, but also trying to carry the message I mentioned before. Does the film have a special significance to you? Personally, I feel like the film really doesn't have a special significance to me, except for the fact that it's kind of like a comfort movie, because I've watched it so many times that when I have nothing else to watch, I kind of lean towards watching that over again. It's kind of one of those movies that never gets old, so I definitely really do enjoy watching it. Was the director effective in relaying his message? Personally, I believe that the director was effective in relaying his message. The director being Will Gluck. He used humor, communication, and chemistry between the two characters, Bea and Ben, to kind of create, again, that enemy to lovers theme throughout the movie, and kind of continued with it. Didn't mix any themes into it, so it definitely was a very smooth watching movie. And it's a very common way to do a modern way to set a rom-com movie in our generation. I feel like all rom-coms kind of have that same theme going. And lastly, I definitely would recommend this film to whoever hasn't watched it. In fact, I absolutely recommend it. As much as it's that very common rom-com that you see in all other rom-coms, I feel like the movie itself was very bright, although there was a lot of times where there was arguments and kind of just like silly interactions. I do think that it really like brings like laughs to the room that you're watching it with. It's like a very family oriented movie that you can watch like as a family time. And overall, at the end, it's just so happy when they end up together, and it just kind of like brings everything back to like perspective of them like hating each other to becoming friends to becoming lovers. So I definitely think it's a very enjoyable movie to watch, and I recommend it to you all too.